Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. Shocking and incredible news is happening right now. Look, normally Monday mornings, like GMM is gonna be a little tricky, right? It's the start of the week, the news is rolling in slowly, but no. Today, we have absolutely gargantuan, massive news that many thought was never possible. A Sony PlayStation game is coming to Nintendo Switch, and it's insane. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hope you all had a great weekend. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoy the show. Let me know your take on today's topics in the comments down below. We're of course talking about the PlayStation game coming to Nintendo Switch, a brand new one at that. And then we got to talk about Pokemon Legends Arceus and new stats that show just how well this game is doing. Triangle Strategy gets a new trailer and has maybe a very significant problem. And the Super Mario Bros. Movie sounds really intense. Like it's totally top secret. So let's dive straight in. This show, wow. And wow to my friends at PDP, who make these freaking sweet controllers with swappable faceplates, customizable paddles, and really great feel. Best part is, you can grab these using my coupon code for $25, which is such a great value to help expand your controller arsenal and play more games with your friends, including now a PlayStation game. Make sure to click the link in the description down below. I genuinely like these controllers a lot. They got one to match your OLED, one to match Zelda, Mario, Animal Crossing, and more. Every time you click the link, it helps support the channel, so I'd super appreciate if you check them out. Now, plenty of people are checking out Pokemon Legends Arceus. What a wonderful victory to see this game thrive, succeed, and be so much fun. I bet a bunch of you have been playing it, and a bunch of you in the UK have played it as well, because the first sales data has come through and Pokemon Legends Arceus took the top spot. Now that's not surprising, but what is that it's the fourth largest launch ever for the Pokemon franchise in the UK. Now fourth doesn't sound that great, but you gotta consider that Pokemon Legends Arceus is a single SKU release. That means there's no counterpart, right? Because the top three launches in the UK were Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, and Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. Those games all had 2 copies to push even more units. But Pokemon Legends Arceus is a solo deal, and it dropped Pokemon Yellow from the top spot in the UK. So Legends Arceus is doing fantastic, and I'm really intrigued to see if this one can pass one of the earlier Pokemon launches on Switch. The word of mouth is insane, the game is great, and I think they found the new secret future for Pokemon. Let me know if you agree in the comments down below. And also, Nintendo took the top spot in Europe for system sales. 2021 new data came through, and we see that the Switch reigns supreme, and that means that the Switch now won Japan, United States, and all of Europe in 2021. A nice sweep for those 3 regions, and it's just ridiculous that this system continues to do so well. And some would consider last year an off year. This year is gonna be huge. The games are already pouring in perfectly, and there's so much more to see. That Direct, it's almost February, and you know what that means. We're about to find out a lot more soon, and I cannot freaking wait. I also cannot wait to find out what is going on with the Mario Bros. Movie. We know that it's supposed to launch this December. We know that Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong, Jack Black is Bowser, and Chris Pratt is Mario. Charlie Day is Luigi, and he recently spoke with Jimmy Kimmel, and it sounds like the movie is being completely safeguarded from even the actors. Like they're keeping it super locked down and top secret to make sure the plot and the ideas and the story does not leak, which is tantalizing to me. We know that Miyamoto is super involved in this movie, and I wonder what kind of crazy plot he has cooked up to be Mario's next foray onto the big screen, because there was a Mario Bros. Movie back in the day. Very weird, very strange, not my favorite, but this one could be really interesting, especially since the Mario we know and love will have a voice and monologues and banter, and what the heck is that going to be like? Charlie Day said, "I'm playing Luigi. In fact, I was just recording that this morning, and I'd love to tell you all about it, but they are top secret with that stuff." And Jimmy Kimmel said, "Is that true?" And he said, "Absolutely, this is serious stuff." Now, he could be being a bit playful here, but he continues to say that him and Chris Pratt don't even record together. They go in one at a time to keep things as locked down as possible. They continued by saying, "I know nothing. I show up and they're like, you say this and you say that, and it's all very funny and good. I walk out and there's like 2 guys in overalls with like hammers that are like, 'Don't you tell nobody nothing about this, Charlie. I swear to God, we're gonna get your kneecaps, we're gonna break your neck,'" which obviously is hyperbole, but they probably really do want this to stay quiet. And I wonder if we'll see the trailer debut at a Nintendo Direct. In fact, that feels very fitting, as it's the way that the company directly communicates with its fan base, and they know those are the people that are gonna be most excited about this movie. While it definitely will seep far into the mainstream, I hope that we do get a reveal at a Nintendo Direct, because I think that'll be a really great moment. Provided this movie ends up sounding and looking great, which I think it will. Miyamoto's in charge, they're keeping it top secret. They got a really interesting cast. I'm pumped for it. Let me know if you think this is gonna turn out well in the comments down below. We got the lights blue because Sony is coming to Switch. I did not think we would ever see this. And I want you to just let's be quiet and let's just watch this happen. The Switch logo and then the PlayStation logo. Now that right there is wild. All right, we know Microsoft and Nintendo have been buddy-buddy this gen and put some interesting games on the platform, but now we're getting a Sony PlayStation former exclusive here on Switch. Because this morning Nintendo announced that MLB The Show 22 is coming to Nintendo Switch day and date April 5th and bringing the first PlayStation experience to Switch. Now I know MLB isn't for everybody, but think of this conceptually, okay? We now have Microsoft games on Switch and we have PlayStation games on Switch. This is the first time that has ever happened, and I don't think it's overblown to say this is insane. It's crazy to see how these companies are working together, and better yet, they confirmed that there will be crossplay between the Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation versions. This is like the three coolest kids at school, all with their own unique friend groups, coming together, shaking hands on the playground, and sharing the swings with everyone. Boom, baby, this feels fantastic. Now, there is some different caveats here, like the fact that an anonymous source last year said that MLB was the one that made Sony move this onto Xbox. And so I wouldn't doubt that MLB was the one, once again, that said, wow, that Switch sells so darn well, we need to spread some baseball love onto that platform. And maybe they forced Sony's hand. But regardless, let's not forget that this is an industry that's very competitive, and there's console wars and all that fanboyism and all that stuff, and more of those walls are being broken down and we're unifying. In some ways, we see things going the opposite direction, like when Microsoft buys Bethesda and then buys Activision Blizzard, and we worry about more and more exclusives segmenting the audience. But moments like this are really cool and really do bring feelings of wow, hey, gaming really is one community. And yes, there's different factions and there's different groups, but we're all here for the same reason, to have fun, to play together, and to escape the real world for something that could be a bit happier, a bit more exciting, a bit more positive, and sometimes just competitive. MLB The Show 22 isn't my favorite game, but I'm super curious to see how they do it on Switch. Now, we've seen in the past that games like FIFA have been completely neutered for our system. But I'm hoping that with Sony behind this one, and knowing that they want their product to shine, and they don't have the weird feelings that EA has towards the Switch, this will actually be a fully fleshed out and fun version. And the way you know it's gonna be at least very close to that is the promise of cross-play support, the fact that that's already announced, the fact that it's day and date, the fact that these versions are gonna communicate with each other, work together, play against each other. That means they must be pretty darn similar. Now, when Microsoft got Minecraft on the Switch, and then they got Cuphead, and then they got Ori, we were like, ooh, what else could they do? I don't know that anything else will happen from Sony, but it does make one dream. What awesome PlayStation games would you love to see playable on Switch, even if they were older titles, games from last gen or 2 generations ago that Sony could, hey, lend out to Nintendo for a fun release. Like I said, probably doesn't happen, but it gets your brain kind of going. There exists this pie in the sky dream in my head where the Nintendo Switch 4K plays Halo, Mario, and The Last of Us, and that would probably be impossible, but it would be super sweet. Just for fun, let me know in the comments down below what PlayStation game you'd love to see on Switch, and do you think this is awesome that we do now have Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo games all on the same platform? At this point, Nintendo, they're actually the ones who aren't sharing the love, and I know that they won't because their IP means the most to them, and it's the most connected, right? At the end of the day, Minecraft is something Microsoft bought, and MLB is a partnership that Sony has. Mario, though, that's the main homie. It's top secret for a reason. It's definitely top locked down to Nintendo, and it's not going anywhere, don't worry. But hey, as Switch owners, we get to play a piece from everybody, and I find that exquisite. Many of you may find Triangle Strategy exquisite, and new trailers translated into English look awesome. The art in that game is incredible, and they showed off new systems of upgrading your class and upgrading your weapons, and the systems seem very deep, very fleshed out, and you can pour your heart and soul into this game. Octopath Traveler surprised the heck out of me the first few hours, but as I dove deeper, I realized the game was kind of repetitive and it lost its luster. It seems like Triangle Strategy is definitely going to have plenty of luster, plenty of intrigue, and the story seems genuinely really cool. Now, this thing has been popping up as of late about Triangle Strategy having like one of the worst titles, and will this inhibit the game's sales? Will it limit it from being more popular than it could be given how great the trailers all look? And I think the sad answer is yes. Triangle Strategy is a terrible name. I'm not sure why Square Enix takes these interesting risks and makes these awesome games like Octopath and Triangle with really cool art and really unique pixel looks that are merged with tech from today, and then titles them in a way that like is so generic and so obtuse and so not exciting. I do not understand why they decided to title this one Project Triangle Strategy and then just remove the project. And it's Triangle Strategy because if you came up with some other name, I know they don't want to make this Final Fantasy, but like in a way it could have been Final Fantasy Tactics Switch, and that would have made a much larger footprint than Triangle Strategy, but they could have also just given it an interesting name, not a geometric shape and then a genre. Do you feel like the name limits it? Do you even care? I mean, we know about it, so we know the game looks cool, but pretend you didn't for a moment. Close your eyes and just be like, my friend's talking about this game called Triangle Strategy. Would you be wanting to look it up? Would you think that's something you want to drop 60 on? Triangle Strategy? Don't get me wrong, the game looks good and we'll play it soon in March, but I do wish they would have came up with a better title. Our Monday started off with mega news bringing Sony to Nintendo, but it also is the start of our polls for the week. Make sure to turn your notification bell on and subscribe so you can head over to the community tab and get your voice heard every weekday evening. I asked your favorite Nintendo Switch moment of January, as we say ta-ta for now to the first month of the year. It was between Nintendo Switch getting some cool updates, some new N64 games, Banjo coming out, and Majora being announced, the new Kirby Forgotten Land gameplay trailer, and imminent release date March 25th, Pokemon Legends Arceus being an awesome evolution for the franchise, or Kingdom Hearts Collection getting a February launch and a demo for the Switch system. And it was a clear and resounding Pokemon, because 69% of you, including myself, are just so pleased that this one turned out so well. The sales are great, the reviews are great, the fun is even better, and I'm so proud of Game Freak and Nintendo for taking a risk and making it happen. Now 18% picked Kirby, and honestly I considered it, because I think Forgotten Land is going to be Kirby's coming out party. Not like the character isn't popular already, but I feel like this game is going to be taking a forward step for that franchise, another evolution. And I love Mario 3D World, and this really looks like Kirby 3D World. 8% picked NSO, 5% picked Kingdom Hearts. I'm gonna sneeze, so we're gonna go. Thanks so much for watching. Hope your week is starting off great. Make sure to let me know your take on this whole Sony Nintendo thing. Hit that like button if you enjoy the show. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're all staying safe, staying healthy, staying happy, staying positive out there. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Until that time, my friends, thanks again. SwitchForce, out.